Hey everyone and welcome! Today we're going to jump into a really useful piece of Korean grammar, one that'll help you talk about what's happening right now. So let's get right to it.
All right, so have you ever been in that spot where you wanted to say something like, I'm studying right now? Or maybe, hey, it's raining. How do you actually describe an action that's happening in real time? Well, if that's a question you've had, you've come to the right place.
And the solution is this awesome little grammar point right here. go 있어서. Honestly, just think of it as the Korean version of adding ing to a verb in English. It's that straightforward. It lets you talk about what's happening as it's happening. Super powerful, and we're going to break it all down. Okay, so here's the best part. The formula is incredibly easy. All you do is take a verb stem, you attach 고고 있다, and then you just conjugate it like you normally would. So for the polite form we use all the time, that just becomes 고고 있어요. See? Simple. Now let's look at some real examples. All right, first example up. Picture this. It's a rainy day. Perfect situation to use this grammar, right? So here's the sentence. Let's listen to it. 지금 비가 오고 있어서 우산을 써야 해요. Okay, let's zoom in on that key part. The verb here is 오다, which means to come. But, when we're talking about rain or snow, it means to rain or to snow. So we add our grammar point, and it becomes 오고 있어서, literally, is raining. Let's hear the whole thing again. 지금 비가 오고 있어서 우산을 써야 해요. And this is a perfect example of that cause and effect relationship. The rain is happening now, and because of that, you need an umbrella. So, one last time. Let's hear it. 지금 비가 오고 있어서 우산을 써야 해요. And that means it's raining now, so I need to use an umbrella. Okay, on to our next one. Let's say your friend is busy cooking something amazing in the kitchen. How would you explain why you probably shouldn't go in right now? Well, it would sound like this. 친구가 요리하고 있어서 부엌에 들어가면 안 돼요. So the key verb here is, of course, 요리하다, to cook. We change it to 요리하고 있어서 to show that the cooking is happening right this second. And that's the reason for the next part of the sentence. You can really hear that connection. Listen again. 친구가 요리하고 있어서 부엌에 들어가면 안 돼요. All right, let's make sure that meaning sticks. One more time. 친구가 요리하고 있어서 부엌에 들어가면 안 돼요. And that translates to, my friend is cooking, so I shouldn't go into the kitchen. Makes perfect sense, right? Okay, here's a scene I think a lot of us know well. A house full of noisy, playing kids. How do you explain why it's so loud? You'd say this. 아이들이 놀고 있어서 집이 시끄러워요. So we're focusing on the verb 놀다, which means to play. It becomes 놀고 있어서, which tells us the kids are playing right now. That's the ongoing action that's causing the noise. Let's hear it again. 아이들이 놀고 있어서 집이 시끄러워요. So it's pretty clear, right? The kids are playing, therefore the house is noisy. Let's say it once more to really get it down. 아이들이 놀고 있어서 집이 시끄러워요, which means the kids are playing, so the house is noisy. All right, this next one is super useful because we're adding a new word to the mix. 아직, which means still. This really emphasizes that an action is still going on. Let's hear how that sounds. 저는 아직 식사하고 있어서 잠시만 기다려주세요. So the action of eating, 식사하다, isn't just happening, it's still happening. It's a really nice detail, isn't it? See how well our grammar point works with 아직 to add that extra layer of meaning? Let's listen again. 저는 아직 식사하고 있어서 잠시만 기다려주세요. And this is such a practical and polite thing to say. Let's do it one final time. 저는 아직 식사하고 있어서 잠시만 기다려주세요. It translates perfectly to, I'm still eating, so please wait a moment. Okay, for our last example, let's switch to a much quieter scene. Imagine a cat is sleeping, and you need to be careful. Here's how you'd explain what you did. 고양이가 자고 있어서 문을 살짝 닫았어요. So the ongoing action comes from the verb 자다, to sleep. The cat is currently sleeping, and that's the reason you're being quiet and closing the door gently. That ongoing state is the cause. Listen for it. 고양이가 자고 있어서 문을 살짝 닫았어요. Yeah, it really paints a clear picture, doesn't it? Let's hear it one last time.
고양이가 자고 있어서 문을 살짝 닫았어요.
And that means the cat is sleeping, so I closed the door quietly. Okay, let's recap the key rules real quick. First, 고 있어서 is all about an ongoing action or state. Second, it works great with words like 지금 for now and 아직 for still.
Third, it's super common in polite speech as 고 있어요. And finally, that 서 at the end is what connects the action to a result. It's basically our so or because. All right, now it's your turn to practice. Seriously, the best way to get this to stick is to just use it. Think about what you're doing right now. You're studying Korean. So try saying this out loud with me. 저는 지금 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. Come on, give it a shot. And please remember this, because it is so, so important. Actually saying these things out loud, using your own voice, that's the magic step. That's what turns this from just information into a real skill you have. Your voice really is the key. So keep practicing, and I can't wait to see you for the next one.